Hello, people. Good morning, and I'm very sorry. I promised you I'm gonna be live. I was going to go live yesterday. I didn't because my girlfriend kindly asked me not to because she was not feeling well. But today I am live. We are live. Long overdue. But Arsenal versus Liverpool preview after yesterday's, I'm not gonna lie, quite insane Premier League games to a certain degree, let's just put it that way, especially given the fact that Brighton drew against what's its face? City. City drew against Brighton. Yes. Villa drew against Crystal Palace, and other teams lost. Arsenal are in this position where, well, if we win, bigger chance than not we're going to win the Premier League, most likely. Today, Arsenal versus Liverpool in the evening, 8 p.m. kickoff. It is all kicking off in all ways, shapes, and forms. Only game in Premier League today, of course. And also, of course, I'm not going to be live because Arsenal are going to play and I'm going to watch it. But despite everything, Arsenal at the moment find themselves in a situation where they can go 8 points clear if they win today. Liverpool, they have a bit depleted squad. They don't have Salah. They don't have certain players. Ekitike is injured. Apparently, he's not going to play. Arsenal, players are coming back. We are on a high. We are the most consistent team in the Premier League. And if we don't win today, I'm not going to lie, I don't know what even to say afterwards, because this is the time where we should be taking the advantage of the mishaps of our opponents, of our challengers, and everything. We need wins. At the end of the day, we need wins. And beating Liverpool would make a statement. No excuses, no nothing. A win today is a must. To go 8 points clear, we would absolutely annihilate them. It would absolutely show that Arsenal are ready to take over Premier League this season and to win it this season. So ultimately, it's all in our hands. Once again, it's all in our hands. The issue with all of this is, though, if we don't win, it's not going to be great, but still, it's going to be a very worrying sign, to say the least, because this league is Arsenal's to win. No matter how you look at it, Arsenal are the most consistent team in the Premier League throughout the course of these 20 games we are in Premier League right now, and there's no other team that at the moment has shown that level of consistency compared to us. So there is no reason for Arsenal to drop the points, especially Liverpool, who are to a very big degree struggling actually as well this season. There's no argument about that as well. Like, the ball's in our court. We just have to make the ace. We just need to do a serve that basically grants us the ace by winning today. That's about it. There's nothing much more to say. Good morning, Gooner SC. We must, exactly. We need 45 points only. Big up Mulbrook, The 45 points only, we cannot say things like that, because 45 points only means Arsenal win 15 out of remaining 18 games. Do I see that happening? Personally, I don't. I'm not gonna lie. The thing about this is, though, we don't even need that much, because I don't see other teams winning every single game. That is the nuts part. Even for Man City to win the league, they need to win every single game, and Arsenal need to lose quite a few of those games. So at the end of the day, we didn't even need 45 points to win it instantly, pretty much. Yeah, 45. Yeah, that's cool. That will grant us the victory 3 weeks before the season ends. Right? But overall, we need less than that. We actually will need less than that. And why not? I don't see a reason why Arsenal should not get it. I don't see a reason at the moment why. Big up, Naga Gunner. Big up. Yeah, please don't mess up the momentum. Today is the big one. Based on yesterday's results, today, we must. There's no other way. We win today, and that pretty much shows that we are ready to do the job. We are ready to do the dirty work. We are ready to win the league. Again, big up Terry Tibbs. Big up Y Scout Specialist. 4-1 win against Liverpool. Liverpool are poor defensively and not that great going forward. With they can't kill games off, so we'll do it for them. Exactly, that should be the case. They have no Salah, apparently no Ekitike. Defense is struggling. They are not the same. They are not doing great. Arsenal do well against Liverpool at home. We need to avenge the loss that we got at Anfield early in the season. Szoboszlai has come out and said that what's its face? Szoboszlai has come out and said that we have to be the champions to be the champions, or something weird, stupid like that. Basically speaking, obviously, for lack of a better word, if we speak straight up, it's true because they're the current champions still until some other team wins it. But Liverpool are not in this season. Let's be real. Anything can happen in football. I'm not too overconfident. This club had caused me too much pain. Yeah, I absolutely feel that. I absolutely feel that, and I understand that. But looking at this Premier League teams' performances and everything, there is no other team at the moment that can win the league besides Arsenal. Because if we don't win the league this season, specifically this season, because the league is ours pretty much there, unless we again F it up, shoot ourselves in the foot, and all this crap we talk about, then when? If not now, then when? At the same time, we said that during Leicester season, we said that before, we have said it afterwards, we said that a few years back, and we saw what happened, obviously. But it's not the same city. Liverpool are nowhere near the same. Aston Villa, like, no thanks. Chelsea, please. So it's Arsenal's. Only way Arsenal lose this league if Arsenal screw it up. Arsenal, at the end of the day, are their own worst enemy. The title race this season, based on how teams are performing, the consistency Arsenal have shown and everything, despite the performances, right, is Arsenal versus Arsenal at the end of the day. Let's just put it that way. Good afternoon. Big up, Kirtan. I'll be only confident if we go double digits. I get it. I absolutely get it. Arteta just don't mess things up. You utilize the squad well. All our players are back except for Calafiori and Mosquera. See, players are coming back, and we're going to look better than before. So ultimately, there is no reason why we should not win today. There is no reason why we should not win the league. Other teams don't come close to us. Yes, we're going to draw games this season still. I totally expect that. Yes, most likely we're going to lose game or two or maybe three throughout the course of the last 18 games. I totally expect that as well. I understand that it can happen. It will happen most likely. However, looking at the other teams, how they're performing, they're going to look worse. They're going to do worse than we do. We already are 6 points clear right now. Well, 5 points clear right now, right? If we win, it's 8 points. 8 points already. Well, not already, but you get what I mean. And I don't see City going on a 17-game unbeaten run. I'm sorry, but I don't. It's not the same City. No KDB, no Gundogan, no for even from the before that, no Company. They don't have those players who can do the magic, who can pull the game out of their bag. Bernardo Silva is not the same. Cherki is good, but he's not it. He doesn't have the KDB Gundogan gene. Let's be real. Haaland alone is not going to carry the team over the line. They need more. And obviously, with their defensive issues, with Guardiola being out apparently till the end of the season, Ruben Dias being out for like 6 to 7 weeks or something like that. Yes, City are looking at Gehi. They're going to sign Semenyo, but what does that do them good? It's not going to be enough. It's genuinely not going to be enough. I feel 2-1 or 3-1, to be honest, similar to Bournemouth high-intensity game. I expect Arsenal to win by 2 or 3 goals. It sounds mad when I say it out loud because, well, 3-1, 4-1 against Liverpool sounds insane if you think about it. At the same time, looking how Liverpool are performing, they're useless on set pieces. I don't see a reason why not. Obviously, this is the overconfidence that I'm talking about right now, which basically puts us in a ditch and then we screw things up because that's how it has gone before. But this season, I just don't see it. I genuinely don't see it. Exactly, they're awful from set pieces. Absolutely awful. Let's be real, have Arteta gone attacking balance instead of Rise of Marin? I mean, we could have won at Anfield. Yeah, in that regard, yes. If Arteta was more brave at Anfield, we should have won the game. We would have won the game. Let's be real. And at home at Emirates today, I don't expect this midfield at all. I expect us to be more proactive, more attacking. We're going to impose our will. We still haven't lost at the Emirates this season. Still unbeaten. Like, all signs are pointing towards us winning, obviously. But hey, big up Fusion is not Jazz. Big up. All we need is a good 20-minute spurt. We can go 2-3 goals up like Brazil. Exactly. And Liverpool, with their defensive troubles, set piece issues, Arsenal are masters of that. They can take the maximum amount of advantage of that. Without shadow of a doubt, there's no denying that. And we should be taking advantage of that. Obviously, the only drawback is Arsenal tend to be a second half team, right? Which is a bit of a worry. But at the same time, against the bigger teams, we are not second half FC most of the time. We actually are very good against the bigger teams. The smaller teams are the ones that scare me more, to be honest. But against Liverpool and everything, come on, man. If we don't win today, I'm not gonna lie, I still gonna think that we most likely gonna win the league, but there will be big questions. So for lack of a better word, there will be big questions, and I don't know where to go from there, because I don't see a reason why we should not win today. I don't see a reason why we should not score 2-3 goals. We're gonna do the job. I fully expect that. The ball is in our court. We just need to make the proper serve, and that's it. Arteta said he doesn't need Gyökeres to score. Yeah, he has said that for 4 years now. He has been saying this for 4 years. He doesn't want a striker who scores 20, 30 plus goals. He doesn't want that. He doesn't. He much rather spreads the goals around, because he likes to have a team that is all involved into the play, and he likes to have a team where you never know from where the danger is gonna come. Because for many teams, if you shut down their main source, their main goal-scoring source, they are kind of useless. Arsenal had the same issue years before. If you shut down Saka, we struggle heavily. This season, if you shut Saka down, if you can do it, obviously, we are still dangerous. This season is a completely different situation with that. City's joy is advantage for us only if we win. Exactly. Only if we win. But I'm not going to lie, I expect us to win. We should be winning. There should be no excuses whatsoever. Especially looking at Liverpool, where they don't have Salah. Ekitike is injured. They struggle defensively. They are still issues. And Arsenal are flying high. Still unbeaten at home. Still performing, still getting results, and still scoring goals. Liverpool are very vulnerable at the moment. And Arsenal finally should take advantage of that. Show them that you mean business. Show them that you have the dog in you at the end of the day. Because many times when we have had a chance to do it, we don't. And that, for me, is a big issue. Today should be the day when we do it. Salah, Mane, Firmino of Liverpool, we're going to be... Exactly. Those were the nightmare days. Salah, Mane, Firmino, Jota coming on, always scoring against us. May he rest in peace and everything. It was insane, especially at Anfield. At home, Arsenal tend to do very, 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 very well against Liverpool, or any big team, to the matter of fact. At home, we are very, very good with these things. And I expect today to be as well. Game coming everywhere, yes. But our attackers are not clinical enough, sadly, for our wingers, and Cam gets to the edge of having those gunpowder like 10 goals in the league. Like, we're going to do this. Like, our attackers are not clinical enough, but that is not an issue for us to some degree. We still manage to score. We still manage to do good enough. We still have managed to win the games. Obviously, you would wish that we create more. You would wish that we score more goals, because the goal difference, it is what it is. Obviously, we don't blow teams away like Man City tends to do. Hence why that if it comes to basically a tie result on points during the season, the goal difference is always going to put Man City on top. But as long as we keep winning, that goal difference will not come into play. Obviously, it would be a nice weapon to have in your arsenal, like a secret weapon, just in case. But at the end of the day, at the moment, it's not necessary. True, we should win, even though through small margins, I feel we can create a good atmosphere to boost the players' spirits. Exactly. It should be a very good atmosphere. On top of that, there will be some sort of special tifo or something like that from the fans and the club, or I don't even remember anymore. Arsenal are preparing something special and everything. So we'll see, but we should be winning without shut up and out. Our goal difference, same as City's, can go ahead today, hopefully. Oh, it has dropped? Because I remember City had a goal difference quite a bit. Oh, goal difference is now the same. It was a big difference at the time. But right now, yeah, if goal difference, if we win, it's going to go above them. Points going to be 8. So I don't see a reason why not. If we can also get the goal difference, it should be all good. Pep had Sane with 10 plus league goals, Mahrez plus 10 plus, Jesus. Yeah. KDB and Aguero's season had Silva Gundo scoring. Exactly. And most of the time, players like Mahrez, Gundogan scored in key games. They were the players who took the game by the scruff of its neck and carried them over the line. They don't have that anymore. And if they don't have those players to basically create those moments of magic out of nowhere, like for us, for example, last year, Declan Rice against Real Madrid and stuff like that, they're done for. They're done for. We saw that Man City have drawn 3 games in a row right now. They are struggling. And we should take complete, utter, sheer, full advantage of that at the end of the day. Liverpool had Firmino, Salamane, Jota. Exactly. With Arsenal, it's a bit different, obviously, because our attack, right, is scoring goals. We are just not scoring such big amount of goals for players to actually be on 15, 16, 12, 13. We are not scoring that amount of goals because in those times, Man City were winning 4-1, 5-0, stuff like that. Liverpool were winning 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, and stuff like that. Arsenal don't do that. We win 2-1, 3-1. It's all good and done and dusted. Plus, if you look at the goal scorers, our center back Gabriel still is one of the best goal scorers in the team. So maybe we don't have attackers scoring all the goals, but we score the goals from other places. Zubimendi scoring, Declan Rice with the assists all over the place. Obviously, Gabriel is scoring and everything. Pep was foolish to bench Cherki. Can't believe City fans turning against him now, though he made them relevant. True, at the same time, with Man City going even one season without a trophy, right, seems unimaginable. Since 2009-10, right, when they got taken over, right? It seems unimaginable. Last year was the first year when Man City finished without a trophy at all. And if in this season at the moment, it has some inklings, potential ones, that they could do it once again. And for Man City under Pep to go back to back without trophies, that is unacceptable. Because Pep, Mancini, and everyone else set the standard up there. And now for one season already, they have dropped the levels down to the bottom. And they might repeat it this season as well. And that is inexcusable, unacceptable. And I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, that Pep leaves himself or is gone. Yes, he has contracts till 2027, right? However, they can still sack him. Luis Enrique is going to be a free agent manager this summer because he just refused the insane contract from PSG. He wants to coach in Premier League. And if he goes to Man City, it could be hell on earth. I'm not going to lie. Yep, example, Gundogan when the front man KDB were struggling, Gundo Silva popping up the goals, exactly. And now they don't have 2 of those, and Bernardo is not the same. Playing with false 9 is okay unless the left and right wing are super clinical. Yeah, but we sharing it around. Rice 4 goals, 3 assists, Mendy 3, 1 goals, Gabriel 3 goals, 3. Exactly. And if you look at Premier League table, we have scored 40 goals this season. Yes, 40. And we have played 20 games. That's 2 goals per game on average, right? So, where? How can we have these 10 plus strikers if, as you're saying here, Rice has 4, Zubimendi has 3, Gabriel has 3, that's already 10 goals. Then you add some from Trossard, from Gyökeres, who has 5, some from Martinelli, from other players, and it all accumulates together. At the end of the day, it all combines together, plus their own goals as well, of course. So at the end of the day, we don't have that anymore. City can win, but will they? City have to play against Newcastle in Carabao Cup semi-finals over 2 legs. If Arsenal gets to the finals, we're going to play Man City. And looking at this Man City, I fancy our chances big time. Especially with the fact that now that Man City have half of their defense injured, 2 of their main defenders are out. Obviously, Ake and Kusanov are decent players, but they are not Guardiola. They are not Ruben Dias, even though Ruben Dias, in my opinion, is overrated. His career has been masked by Kyle Walker at right back, right? But overall, come on, man. With their main defenders out and them not having proper backups, yes, they're looking at Gehi to be signed right now. Still won't be enough. And City's defense also can be very easily gone at, and it has been shown over the season. And Bruno Guimaraes, I was having a look that them having 8 goals, 4 assists for Newcastle this season in the league. He and Rice rivalry should be top. Not this guy said though. Yeah, I would love Bruno Guimaraes at Arsenal. Would love to have Bruno Guimaraes at Arsenal. Some reports saying Berta wants to sign a left wing. Maybe Martinelli might be sold after World Cup. Yeah, Arsenal looking at left wingers, it has been a thing for the last 3 years, almost. For the last year and a half, almost 2, it has been very heavy looked at, obviously. And somebody has to go. Arsenal are very heavily exploring the left wing market, apparently. Obviously, we are linked with Yildiz. We are linked with this, that, the other. Nico Williams, if you remember. We were linked with Mudryk. We got Trossard, dodged the bullet, and it was fantastic that we did. But overall, yeah. If we sign Yildiz, if we sign somebody else, I think we're going to go for a left winger this summer. I genuinely believe so. Because that left wing, specifically, is that spot where Arsenal need heavy improvement. We had a chance to sign Kvaratskhelia last January, a year ago, and we didn't. So if Trossard, who is 31, after over the course of last season, we were doing this in the summer, has better stats than Martinelli, despite the fact, on both ends, as a starting player and as a bench player, I think Martinelli could be done at this club. Because Trossard has better technical ability, he's more clinical at finishing. Yes, he doesn't have the pace, but that's about it. And keeping a player just for the fact that he's the best defensive winger in the league seems kind of redundant. Bruno Guimaraes is the most underrated midfielder, in my opinion. Being years, he's carrying Newcastle, but not even getting his name in the Premier League. Yeah, as well. But that's also because, let's be real, Newcastle in the league are at times a coin toss. Did Newcastle yesterday draw against Leeds as well? No, they won against Leeds, 3-4, never mind. That game against Leeds, I remember it was 2-2, and I had to switch off, and I missed 3 goals. In the end, Guimaraes scored, got an assist as well. Bruno Guimaraes is carrying FPL for me as well. Same. Imagine Rice, Bruno Guimaraes midfield. It would have been fantastic. It would have been fun. I think it could be quite insane to think about. Even aggressive legs to run physically will be there in the midfield. Yeah, aggressive, good passing, at least especially on Bruno Guimaraes. Good midfield, very very good running and everything. Yeah. Barnes win their last minute. Yeah, Calvert-Lewin is on a mad form as well. He has 8-9 goals in the last 8 games or something like that. He's actually in the form of his life, what it feels like. It kind of gives me that reminisce thoughts of Kai Havertz. Remember when Kai Havertz got put at striker the season when we signed him after the Dubai trip, and he just went on a purple patch, scoring goals left, right, and center, and assisting left, right, and center. Don't think Calvert-Lewin is kind of on that. Calvert-Lewin somehow, if Lewin can stay fit, and if you play to his strengths in a proper way, he actually is a very decent striker with good finishing abilities. Yes, he wastes quite a few chances, but at the same time, yeah. Calvert-Lewin and Thiago. Yeah, Thiago, the Brentford striker. Holy crap. He scored 2 goals yesterday, I think. He's on 16 goals. He's the second top goal scorer in Premier League, 4 goals behind Haaland. That is nuts. 16. I already can see if any team will want to sign him after this season, right? It's gonna be 70, 80 million. That will be insane timing. it's gonna be like 70, 80 million if anyone will want to sign him, because he's 24 only. He's scoring goals left, right, and center. He's gonna go for nuts money. And Brentford signed him only for 33 million euros from Club Bruges last summer, 2 summers ago. 2 summers, yeah. And in January, and he was what? That's like what, 28 million pounds? Like, it's gonna go for nuts price tags. Yeah, Leeds saving his career. He's also saving Leeds to some degree. He's also helping Leeds to stay up at the moment. Y'all gonna mad run. Seriously, yeah, 16 goals. He's the he is the Brazilian record goal scorer by beating Martinelli, who had 15 in that one season. Yeah. The price tag doing the B as well. He's Brentford scoring. Brentford's record. No, it was 33 million euros. 33 million euros apparently it was, which is about 28 million pounds, 29. Unless there are some obviously add-ons that you have to pay, then it might accumulate up on everything. He got to Brentford. How much did he go for? $38 million, which is about 30 million pounds? 32 million pounds? 31 million pounds, yeah. If they want to sell him, it's gonna be insane money. Insane monies they're gonna get. Insane monies. Like if once they decide to sell him. Because there will be teams who will want to take him. Because teams, I'm not gonna call him one season wonder because we have to still see more. But teams sometimes see a player for one season scoring like this and they think, I must have that. And if you want to have that player coming off such a hot season, you will have to play top premium dollar at the end of the day. And there are teams who are willing to do that. Yeah, we play Portsmouth on Sunday, 2 p.m. kickoff. Yeah, we need to rest our main players because afterwards, do we play Inter Milan? No, we play Chelsea in the cup. We play FA Cup and then we play Carabao Cup. It's actually insane. But yeah, we need to rest players before the Carabao Cup semifinals, without shadow of a doubt. Yeah, looks like Thomas Frank might get sacked. Yeah. He actually might. But Thomas Frank's, it's actually insane. Did you see this image, by the way, with Thomas Frank? Did you see this image? Because this is actually comedy show and a half. Look at the cup he's holding. Look what type of a cup is he holding. In which universe that could actually be insane? In which universe does that make sense? Big up CJ. Must win tonight, exactly. Must win. Because if we win tonight, it's gonna tell so much about our season. So much. Chelsea away. Yes. Chelsea's at Stamford Bridge. Brentford had produced good attackers. Watkins, Tony, then sold Vissam, Buemo. Yeah. They know how to find it. They know. I also hope that Victor scores. I definitely hope Victor scores as well. Big up BX Gunner just woke up. Yeah. Interesting times. Let's just put it that way. Interesting times. But this is insane. Look at the cup that Thomas Frank is holding as a Spurs manager. Like, this is not AI. This is actual reality, by the way. This is not like you go on, I don't know, Grok or ChatGPT and make an AI image. He is actually holding an Arsenal cup in his hands as a Spurs manager. Like, go figure. Genuinely go figure. And that was before that game. Where does that happen? Like, it's actually insane. Big up. 1:30 a.m. January 19 in the Arsenal. Don't mess me up. Dude, be careful. Rice's birthday, same day as Chelsea match. Yeah. It's my name's day as well, so Arsenal better not piss me off and disappoint me. That has to be the best prank in a long time. But this is insane. How these things even happen? Like, he didn't even pay attention to that. That is nuts. It's actually insane. It's actually insane. Big up, Jackie. Big up, Jackie. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, Liverpool versus Arsenal today. Must-win game. It's actually kind of insane that I'm looking at this game and I'm not expecting anything less than 3 points today. I need a win. I think we're gonna win. And I think it could be actually a very nice win, like 3-1, 4-1. Because Liverpool are not it. Wait, let me check. Liverpool's injuries. Because we all know that they don't have Salah, and they also don't have what's its face? Ekitike due to injuries. What is it? Isn't it 3 p.m.? What do you mean? What do you mean? If you talk about Portsmouth game, I think it's at 2 p.m. Yeah, Arsenal versus Portsmouth. It's at 2 p.m. on Sunday. No. Wait, let me check quickly. Sunday. Where's England? Sunday. FA Cup. Arsenal play 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Arsenal play at 2 p.m. Seriously. True head when Yeri doesn't want to leave now. He wants to be part of winning squad. We'll assess his options in the summer. Yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen with Wanyeri, because Wanyeri as well, I realize that he's young and he needs betting into the team, but he has played a lot already, and many times when he has come on, when he has played, he's been very influential, very good. So one thing is sure, I don't want to see him leave. And what I mean by that, I don't want to see him get sold. If he wants to go out on loan, I'm all good for it, because I think this guy could do with a good loan. But to sell Wanyeri, I think it would be quite dumb. In my opinion, it actually would be quite dumb. Just put it that way. Arsenal injury list: Mosquera, Dauman, Calafiori. Where is Liverpool? Where is Liverpool? I want to see the Liverpool injury list. So Liverpool's injuries: Leone, Bajcetic, okay, Danz, Endo, Isak, and Ekitike. Yeah, there are no reasons why Arsenal should not be winning against Liverpool today. I don't see a reason why we should not win. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, he could be used in the cups. He could, but against Portsmouth, yes. Against Portsmouth, 100%. Against Chelsea, no chance in hell. I'm not gonna lie. Against Chelsea in semifinals, Wanyeri is not gonna start. I don't at least see it whatsoever. If we're comfortably winning, maybe yes, but otherwise, no. Just don't see it at all. And the other thing is, it's gonna be one of the first games for the Rose Garden from Strasbourg in charge. It's gonna be interesting to see how that's gonna happen, how the team plays. Will there be a new manager bounce and all this stuff people talk about, of course. About time, use Eze and Kai more get fitness. Against Portsmouth, yes, I don't think Kai Havertz plays today. Best case scenario, if Arteta wants him and he's good enough, I can see him playing basically as a sub. Best case scenario. But given that Jesus is in a decent form, Gyökeres most likely is going to start. Like, there is no room for Havertz. Let's just put it that way. Definitely no room for Havertz. We now have you have massive squad. Obviously, once Mosquera comes back and everything, and Calafiori, it's going to be even more insane. Agree against Portsmouth, to be honest. Maybe against Chelsea. I think it strongly depends how the first leg goes against Chelsea. I genuinely believe it heavily depends on how the first leg against Chelsea goes. For Wanyeri to play against Chelsea in the semifinals of Carabao Cup, quite a few things must fall in line. I'm not going to lie. Quite a few things. I want to see how long he doesn't play Eze for. Well, depends. That depends how long Eze is not going to track back. Because it looks like Arteta, what it feels like at least, after that Villa game where we lost 2-1, he hasn't played pretty much at all, and mostly because, well, he doesn't track back. He doesn't put in the defensive effort. How long is that going to take for him to get to realize that properly, I have no idea. Absolutely no idea at the moment. And I think that is the reason why Eze is not playing. Odegaard presses, Martinelli presses, Trossard even presses at 31. Eze doesn't do it that much. Doesn't do it that much front and back. So it's going to be interesting. Against Portsmouth, where you don't need that press, to be honest, I can see Eze playing. 100% I can see. In Premier League, until he figures stuff out, I kind of actually don't see it, which is kind of nuts. But at least we have him. That is the best part. We have Eze. We can utilize him when we need him. The issue is the longer he doesn't play, the more he loses match fitness and everything. So once he plays out of nowhere, it could be quite detrimental to him. That for me is the other thing. He blamed Eze for that cash goal against Villa, yeah. And this is the one thing with Mikel, it is a bit different, because if Mikel calls you out in a press conference, you are on his blacklist, in my opinion, because the same thing happened with Pepe, has happened to Eze, has happened with Ranieri as well, and after that we haven't seen him for some time. So we'll see. Well, it's not overrated, I think. He leads the press. He delegates the players. The thing is, he's a bit too weak sometimes for that, and it kind of looks a bit confusing, because he also ducks out of challenges at times, which ultimately at the end of the day kind of screws it up. That press doesn't look as effective when you duck out of challenges, and Odegaard unfortunately has that into him at times. Technically, they had showed some glimpse, and Victor haven't gave more output at the moment, but difference. Victor's doing things like pressing, defending, tracking back. That's difference. Victor is playing. Not fully, because Victor Gyökeres possesses more threat in the attack than Eze for Arsenal, the way we play, because Gyökeres demands 3-4 defender attention even at times. They have to always be locked onto him. With Eze, it's not the same. Gyökeres kind of occupies that inner number 9 space where they literally have to track him constantly to prevent danger. And if 2 defenders have to be on Gyökeres at all times, more often than not, it kind of opens up the spaces for the wingers, both 10s that basically invert and go up and stuff like that, which allows us to be more creative sometimes with the ball, and allows us to have more time on the ball near opponent's box. With other players, we cannot do it as efficiently, because we saw that as well against Villa. Was it against Villa? Yeah, it was against. Was it against Villa? What the hell am I even talking about here? Give me a sec. Let me check the schedule, because I know I'm missing something. It was like that against Bournemouth. Where Gyökeres basically, when Martinelli did the flick on, Gyökeres occupied the space and basically sucked on himself, which sounds mad, but you get what I mean. 3 defenders, which allowed him to do a head down, a layoff with his head to Odegaard, who passed it to Rice, who slotted it bottom corner. So Gyökeres does lots of other things. Obviously, with the number 9 that costs 60+ million, you would expect goals more. But as long as Arsenal are winning, he's involved into play, and he does other things for the whole team at the end of the day to put goals on the board, which allows us to win the games and get 3 points on the board. It's actually not that bad. Obviously, it could be a bit frustrating for Gyökeres himself as a striker not to score the goals, but hey, for lack of a better word, it's for the team's good and season's good long term. Arteta plays players that work hard. Yeah, he does that. And that's all you can ask for. At the end of the day, work always beats talent. You can be the most talented player in the world, but unless you work hard and unless you basically do what manager tells you, you're going to hold the bench. As in Gyökeres are counter-attacking players, to be honest. That's why they ain't working. Yeah, because also how Crystal Palace play with what type of a freedom Glasner provided Eze with. Arsenal don't get that. First things first in games, and Arteta doesn't play like that, which means he's a bit of an odd man out, like kind of black sheep of the family. And if you don't have proper tech, if you have enough stamina, aggressive and press, track back, defending, you start. But this is what football has evolved these days. These days, if you have enough stamina, you are physical and you can run, you're good. It's actually kind of nuts because if you compare the football what it was when, for example, I started watching, compare it to now, it's night and day. Back in the day, you needed some tech as well, quite a bit of tech, to be honest, to become a professional footballer. These days, you need to be an athlete, and if you have the tech, right, you look like you are instantly world class, instantly to some degree, and that should not be the case as well. Always find it funny, despite him not having those outputs. The moment he goes off later, we can see it. Yeah, that I saw a TikTok today that Arsenal can concede less goals with Gyökeres on the pitch than without Gyökeres on the pitch, which is kind of nuts to think about, even when we talk about a striker and defensive results. But on set pieces, for example, when we defend set pieces, Gyökeres helps because he's a big body and he always occupies specific spaces where the ball comes in and he can head it out. It's all built by design on purpose, the way we defend and the way we attack. And it doesn't always involve Mikel Arteta fully utilizing Gyökeres to his maximum potential. But as long as this potential helps the team to win in some way, shape, and form, it's not that bad. But obviously, if you grow up on strikers scoring 20 plus goals and you watch players like Aguero, Falcao, Anelka, Thierry Henry, Van Persie, of course, Di Natale, Milito, and players like that, it is a bit of a pain in the ass looking at some very talented strikers just being there to do some other things, not scoring goals. But hey, as long as we win, no one cares. Because as long as we win, Arteta can place 11 center backs on the pitch for all I care. But as long as we win, I'm fine. To some degree, I am fine because we already have four center backs playing at the back line. The fact that Victor, who was said before, he don't defend, runs and press under us, he's doing things he done. Yeah, exactly. He's doing things he didn't do before. Hence why also partially why he got injured. Because he was doing things he had never been asked to do before. His muscles were not used to that at the end of the day. But now looking at this, he's doing the job. Same goes for like Mikel Merino. He's a midfielder. He has played almost his whole life as a midfielder and on occasion as a center back. He comes to Arsenal and he's doing things he has never done before, played as a striker. And ironically enough, at striker, Mikel Merino looks better than in the midfield, which is kind of nuts even when you think about it. But hey, beggars can be choosers, I guess. Imagine proper target man joins you later. He's dropping deep, pressing, overlapping. Welcome to our... Yeah. But the other part of this is jokes are jokes, but it is working. It actually is working. That is the nuts part. Odegaard as well. He is a number 10, but he drops almost at center back to receive the ball. Also should not be the case. But hey, it works, and as long as it works, you cannot knock it to a degree. Big up, Hello Banking. Big up, big up, big up. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Arsenal are going to win today, right? Arsenal are going to win today, right? But when speaking of Arsenal are going to win today, does anyone think Arsenal are not going to win today? Because I don't see Arsenal not winning. I actually expect Arsenal winning today. Without shadow of a doubt, by a mile, I expect Arsenal to win today. Now, the result, that's a different story, but I'd like for Arsenal not to win today, something really shocking has to happen. Let's just put it that way. Wait. Hey. Leandro Trossard wanted to extend his contract at Arsenal beyond 2027 last year. In the end, Arteta persuaded him to stay and agree pay rise instead. Mail Sport understands. Prior to signing that deal, Trossard was told he'd likely be used as a squad player. Like, for him to be utilized as a squad player when he is doing better than most of the players who start, it's actually kind of mad if you think about it. He's doing better than Martinelli. He did it. He was better than last year. He's this year again. Trossard is having a season of his life at Arsenal, to be honest, what it feels like. Or maybe last minute 90 plus minute goal winner. Wait, you think we're gonna lose or we're gonna win? I actually am confused. Yeah, Arsenal did that last. I think it was in the summer. Yeah, I think it was the summer or throughout last season. Arsenal extended Trossard's deal. Well, they didn't extend. They gave him a pay rise, but the contract length is still the same till 2027. Based on how he's been performing last year, it will be very interesting to see what Arsenal do next, because he's going to be 32 by the end of next season. And Arsenal need to find a replacement ASAP, because Martinelli, it's very evident it's not working. Or Arsenal are going to keep Martinelli, and they are looking for a Trossard replacement, long term, which is also one or the other Arsenal are doing at the moment. Kind of cannot put my finger out on which one specifically, though. Yeah, big up. I expect Arsenal to win 3-1, 4-1 maybe even. Liverpool don't have their best attackers. Their midfield is decent, but yeah, defense is a bit shaky. Their set-piece defending is shocking, and it's not great, and Arsenal are masters of that. We should be winning. We are still undefeated at Emirates, so let's keep that streak going. And sadly, not distracting on our star boy, but Saka. Yeah, Saka's levels have dropped. Yeah, after the injury, it has not been the same. He needs to step up more. Thinking, well, is your contract? Yeah. He better step up. With 300 grand a week, you must be the man. Yep, I'm not even expecting. Same. I don't even expect a draw. I expect a win. A full-on win in the regular time with no draws. My father will not be calling me tonight to gloat like he did after that last game. Sorry. If everything goes according to plan, you can call him today. And gloat. Revenge. Yeah, even if Martinelli stays, we better get a proper left winger. That is the biggest thing. We need to get a proper left winger no matter how you look at it, because Martinelli is not cutting it output-wise. And Trossard, even though he has good output, well, he's old. He needs a replacement. 32 by the end of his contract. You need a replacement ASAP. And that's why I think Arsenal are linked with Rodrigo, with Yildiz, and all these players, 100%. Yeah, I saw Arsenal being linked with Rodrigo, Brahim Diaz, and Gooner. But I don't see Arsenal signing any of them, ironically enough. Best case scenario, it could be Rodrigo. Best case, well, you get what I mean. Because Arda Güler is not leaving. Jabi Alonso loves Arda Güler, and he's not leaving. Brahim Diaz is fantastic for Real Madrid, and he's also not leaving. Only odd man out in all of these equations, no matter how you look at it, is Rodrigo. And looking at what's happening at Real Madrid, it looks like Rodrigo and Vini both are looking for a way out. Vini is looking more of Saudis, of course. But Rodrigo has been linked with Liverpool, with Man City, and of course Arsenal. And for us to get Rodrigo, I would not be against that. I absolutely would not be against that. We need a left winger, and we need that. Well, we needed that last year to a certain degree, but can we wait till summer? Technically, we can, but will that, who we gonna get in summer? Will we get any left wingers in summer? That is a completely different story. Because with Arsenal, you never know. Literally, with Arsenal, you absolutely never know what's gonna happen, how it's gonna happen, and where it's gonna happen. Ironically enough. Also, I believe we need another midfielder. We can take a loan or something like that for the second part of the season, because for me personally, Declan Rice needs a backup, like a proper one, like a proper backup, right? And yes, we have Merino, but for me, he's not cutting it. Not good enough. So we need also that. Obviously, we have been linked with Ruben Neves. We have been linked with Goretzka. Will we sign any of those? Personally, I don't think so. Goretzka, he's going to be a free agent in the summer, just like Ruben Neves. This is World Cup year. I really doubt that either of those players would want to come to Arsenal, even on loan, and basically be the backup. They want to play. They want to prove themselves. They want to be in a good form before the World Cup. So it's gonna be a very interesting January. Saying that, there is also a part of me that believes that Arsenal are not gonna sign anyone in January. I also believe that. There is a big part of me that believes Arsenal are not gonna sign anyone this January. And whether it's gonna backfire or not, I don't know. But last season it definitely backfired. And if Arsenal learn from their mistakes, they most likely would go out and sign someone. Oh, my back is killing me. Absolutely killing me. But yeah, uh, it's actually insane. Like this Vanjeri situation, I'm just reading so much about Vanjeri in this January window that there's so much stuff about Vanjeri that it feels like he's gonna stay. Mostly because they talk about him a bit too much. They talk about Vanjeri a bit too much with no actual concrete links. Yes, there have been talks that he might go to Bournemouth, obviously, that the personal terms are not an issue, right? But overall, I don't know. With Vanjeri, I think he's gonna stay. Now, whether that's gonna be good or not, we obviously only time will tell. But at the moment, I kind of don't see it. Yeah, I think so too. Back is killing me, but I think it's the age. We cannot be 25 for 60 years almost, Naga. You know that, right? We cannot be 25 forever like you. Right? So it is what it is. But yeah, back is killing me. I'm not gonna lie. Back is killing me. Oh. But we'll see. 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 But time will tell only. But with Arsenal today against Liverpool, I expect actually a tough and very, to some degree, a fast-paced game. Because Arteta sat back at Anfield, giving opponent too much credit because Liverpool were there for the taking without shadow of a doubt. And looking at their recent history, recent games, looking at how they're missing specific players, Arsenal, are not missing the specific certain players anymore. I think Arteta can afford to be more brave, to go on the front foot, especially at home. If we play the same style as we played at Anfield at home, I don't think it's going to be received well by the fans, especially if the outcome is the same. Especially then, if the outcome is the same. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out for Arsenal. What 11 Mikel Arteta puts out and what type of football we want to play. But for me, with Arsenal, it actually could be quite straightforward. So what we're going to do is starting 11, people. Starting 11. Predicted starting 11, who would you want to see for this game? So let me know, who would you want to see play? Obviously, some players go in there without saying, don't they? I think the starting 11 is pretty much straightforward with Arsenal because we have some of our best players back, and they're doing a very good job. We are not rotating too much, which is, I don't expect that as well. There's nothing special bad about Rice, so that is good. I expect kind of the same 11 we had against Villa, at least. That's what I expect. Now, whether that's going to be the case or not, I don't know. One thing I think, though, I'm not too sure who starts at the left wing spot. I'm not too sure who starts at the left wing spot because Trossard tends to do good against Liverpool off the bench. Martinelli tends to do good against Liverpool, well, overall. Let's just put it that way. Saying that, somebody needs to start, and looking at how Liverpool play, do we need that much tracking back, for example, or do we need more pace and more trickery going forward? For me, that left wing spot is a bit of a question mark. Let's just put it that way. And I'm not too sure where this fits in between Gabriel Martinelli and Leandro Trossard, because Eze is not going to play there. Let's be real. Vanieri is not going to start as well. So it's between the usual suspects. And I think Trossard is going to play, and Martinelli is gonna play against Portsmouth over the weekend. At least that's what I would expect in this game. But hey, you never know. That left wing spot is kind of a toss-up for me personally as an Arsenal fan, because technically speaking, we have options, but never good. Never these options are. Some come with some advantages, with some come with other advantages. Let's just put it that way. With Trossard, you'll get some good stuff, some bad stuff, and with Martinelli, you'll get some good stuff and some bad stuff. So overall, I think that the starting 11 is straightforward. It's going to be a physical game. Their midfield is definitely going to try to outmuscle our midfield. Do I think Liverpool are going to play it cautiously? I think so. A tiny bit cautiously, looking at Arsenal's home form and that Liverpool tend to struggle at times. But go figure. Absolutely go figure. You think Martinelli starts? Like, for me personally, I think Trossard starts and Martinelli is gonna play in Carabao Cup. That's at least what I expect. Same goes, for example, Hincapié starts because he's defensively more solid, just in case with Frimpong's overlaps and all this stuff. And Skelly starts against Portsmouth. At least that's what I expect. Raya, Hincapié, Saliba, Gabriel, Timber, Zubi, Rice, Odegaard, Saka, Victor, Trossard. See? Skelly should, but I see Arteta using Hincapié. I also see Hincapié being used for that defensive solidity more than anything. I expect Skelly to start, as I said, against Portsmouth, though. It's great having these options, though. Yeah, I'm not denying it's fantastic to having these options, to be honest. Same goes, for example, for the form, how these players are playing. Martinelli is a world beater in Champions League, not so much in Premier League. Trossard is a world beater for Arsenal, what it seems, in Premier League, not as much in Champions League. And I love that we have a specific player that actually can excel in specific competitions. I just wish sometimes they could interchange. And Martinelli has a fantastic game in the Premier League. Trossard has a phenomenal game in Champions League. I just wish sometimes they could interchange. But overall, it's definitely a very good thing. It's very fantastic to have these options. Rather use Nelly from the bench. It looks like he plays well. Martinelli off the bench, based on last year's stats, right? He looks definitely better off the bench. Saying that, Trossard still looked better. That is the nuts part. When we were looking at the GA points, GA percentages, passing percentage, and stuff like that, Trossard blew Martinelli out of the war when he started and blew him out of the war when he came on as a sub. Martinelli definitely is one of those that unfortunately is not it. I think definitely Champions League football suits him better. And sadly, well, for us, but luckily for him, kinda, if Martinelli moves to another league, I think he will be a world beater there as well. I think for Martinelli, unfortunately, unless we play the style of football we played in 22-23 season, he's not going to be that useful anymore. He's going to excel in other leagues more than anything, especially how teams tend to play against Arsenal these days. Trossard starts for me, links up plays, has some clever pass recently, and he's getting goals. Exactly. He's in a very good form. And he's still, to some degree, one of the most, if not the most clinical finisher at Arsenal in terms of forwards. Yeah, exactly. Hincapié knows Frimpong. Former teammates, exactly, definitely. Like, if we are like at least 2-0 advantage by 60 minutes, then you're throwing on Nelly and Noni, boom, pace. Exactly. And against it works on both ways, attacking-wise and defensive-wise. So it's a win-win in those types. Nelly will excel well outside I think Martinelli will excel very good in other leagues, especially if he finds himself in play in like La Liga or something like that, or Serie A, where he can be where he can at times utilize his space more, where there tends to be sometimes more open. He has channels to run into, and the teammates purposely play on him. Like, they are open, counter-attacking football, expansive football, none of this controlled possession type, which it's very evident that despite Martinelli being Brazilian, his technical abilities are not there. His skills, technical abilities are not there. I'm not saying they're bad, but for what you would want for this style of play, how we play, Trossard kind of blows him out of the water to a degree. Yeah, Bundesliga high press game as well. Yeah. I think Martinelli would do in the most leagues. I think Martinelli actually could be doing well also in the Premier League specifically, but not playing for Arsenal, just due to sheer fact how other teams set up against Arsenal in every single game. Because if he played for teams like Bournemouth, Brighton, who else is there? Something similar. Maybe also Leeds to some degree, Sunderland and teams like that who attack with pace, with intent, with precision, with directness and everything, I think Martinelli could definitely excel very good at. It's just that Arsenal play in complete opposite of what Martinelli should be playing in. It's something similar like with Nicolas Pepe. Because Nicolas Pepe, when he played at Lille, he played 180 degrees straight opposite style at Arsenal. And I think that also didn't put him in the best of lights. And despite that, he managed to carry us to a degree in Europa League. He managed to score some fantastic goals. It's just the fact that he was very inconsistent. And if he didn't feel like it, he wasn't on it. Maybe Jesus link up, they both do link up well. Yeah, that's why also against Bournemouth, Arteta did the triple substitution, remember? He took off he took off Madueke, Gyökeres, and Trossard, and he put on Saka, Jesus, and Martinelli. And it worked like a charm. It's not the first time he's done it. He's going to do it more. Martinelli and Jesus, they have very good partnership together. They are doing very well together when they play together. We saw that in 22-23 season, and despite the system and style change, it has stuck with the team and with them. They have very good communication, understanding on the pitch. Pepe, for me as well, he was never a flop. Yes, he was frustrating at times because if he was thinking out the place, he was definitely thinking out the place. But more often than not, he had those moments of brilliance. He got you out of your seat, and he actually was very decent. I just wish he was being utilized properly. And you can see also when he plays right now at Villarreal that he definitely is enjoying football, and he looks much better, much more threatening than he used to. But obviously he's not the same as he was for Lille, but still, he's doing the job and doing it at a very good level. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, people, ultimately, what are your predictions for today's game? Because I'm saying it's going to be 3-1 Arsenal. I'm going with 3-1 Arsenal today. What are your predictions for today's game? What do you expect from this? What are you expecting from today's game? For me, it's 3-1 Arsenal, and I think we're going to get the job done in a very good and nice fashion. They are there for the taking. Arsenal in a very good form. There are no excuses for Arsenal not to beat Liverpool, and I think we are doing good. Give me a sec. There we go. Pepe was always a baller, yeah. I don't think we lose today. 3-1. I say big up. Big up Sheldon, by the way. 2-1 Arsenal. Nelly and Trossard, like usual, scoring versus Liverpool. Yeah, I would not be surprised. Martinelli and Trossard, both of them love a goal against Liverpool. Trossard loves a goal against Liverpool since Brighton days. Martinelli just loves it by default. Let's just put it that way. Arsenal 4-1. Damn, that's chest and a half. I think it's gonna be solid. Gooner C thinks we're gonna lose today. Oh my god. Do you think we're gonna lose just because there is too much pressure and everyone just expects a win? And mostly when everyone expects a win from Arsenal, they just don't win? Is it just because of the history of how it has gone for Arsenal at times, or do you think Liverpool actually are gonna lock us down at home, and we're gonna suffer our first loss at home this season in all competitions. Yeah, he might be deep down hating Trossard, definitely. I also would not be surprised if Alisson today has a game of his life against Arsenal, because somehow the big teams, any goalkeeper to some degree, when we play against teams, they turn into best goalkeeper in the world. Somehow it always happens like that. Remember Oblak against Atletico Madrid? I remember Neuer against Bayern Munich when we played them at Emirates. The goalkeepers always turn into world-class dominators. Primica Casillas or something like that. It's actually kind of annoying many times. I hope so too. I generally hope so too. Xhaka used to slot in bangers or assists versus Man United. But there's always one of those players who always somehow does something against specific team. Like last year, Jesus scored 5 goals in 2 games against Crystal Palace. Remember that one? Yeah, exactly. We make them like world beaters, like Prime Van der Sars, Kahns, Buffons, Casillas, and everyone else. Like we make them in prime. It's actually insane. Like it's really frustrating, but somehow we make Pickford actually look like a world-class goalkeeper. Like that's nuts, if you ask me. And everything. It's weird. It's weird, but I expect Arsenal to win today at the end of the day. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, people. We have been here. We have talked about Liverpool. We have talked about Arsenal. If you haven't already, smash the like. Subscribe if you're new. And I'm going to be signing off for today because Arsenal play today at 8 p.m. It's my usual streaming time. So I will not be live. I'm going to be live again tomorrow. So for today, stay safe. Take care. Hope Arsenal do us a solid. Enjoy the game. And see you guys very, very, very soon. Peace.